and welcome to the DM's Book Club, a weekly book club podcast where we talk about some Dungeons and Dragons and discuss how we might include them in our role-playing campaigns. We're back once again to go back into our solo quest of the Faerie Mound of Dragonkind, so if you've not listened to the first part, I'd recommend you do so you're all caught up. Okay, on with the quest! A faint light gleams upwards through a hole leading down beneath a huge old tree. There are stairs, which seems to have been made by fairies, descending towards the light. As you descend, you realise that the light seems to flicker, and you begin to hear a heavy clanging of metal on metal. Turn to 106. Oh, that doesn't have a letter after it, so it must be an actual, bookmarkable page. Oh gosh, okay. Oh, we get a picture. So we come out of the stairs, and it's like we're in a forest, and I can see, it looks like a dwarf individual. He seems to be doing some blacksmithing. I can see he's making some sort of item. There also seems to be a porcupine next to him. Classic. And there's some horseshoe prints in the mud leading away down to my north, if I'm looking at this there. The crisp, fresh air of the outdoor world is welcoming, even though it bears the stinging scent of fire and molten metal. The muscular dwarf working at this forge does not look up from the anvil at your appearance. Although he certainly seems to be no immediate threat, perhaps you should put the dwarf out of action whilst you have the chance. But it doesn't seem to be an immediate threat. What are you talking about? Do you want to fight the dwarf? No. Interrupt his work and talk to him? Maybe. Or just let him get on with his hammering whilst you look around. Absolutely, that's what we're going to do. If you've arrived here in a state of magical confusion, you have no choice in the matter. You must fight the dwarf. I haven't, though. Oh dear. I think I'm going to let him get on with whatever he's doing, and we're going to look at 9F. We won't interrupt him. That seems silly. All I have is my panpipes. Okay, so the dwarf continues to work at his anvil. You're not even sure if he's aware of your presence. You wander around the area trying to decide on what to investigate first, but before long you notice that the hedgehog is following your every step of the way. He stops when you stop, moves when you move. You have time to look at only one item before you get so uneasy you feel forced to move on. Oh no. Go to 106 and pick one item to investigate and then choose an exit and leave. Oh, that's a shame. Well, to be fair, I do have a massive skull with me that's being sad, so maybe that's also not helpful there. Okay, well, we got the hedgehog. I thought it was a porcupine, but a hedgehog watching me. Oh, so we've got one thing we can do here. So what we've got? We've got dwarf keys, the hedgehog itself, the stairway in the tree, which we've come from, no doubt, the anvil, the hole with log steps, weapons on the forge wall. Oh yeah, there's some weapons there, I can see them now. Dwarf's hammer, pouch hanging from branch, bellows, and path. Oh, interesting. If you've been here before on this adventure, you discovered the exact same scene you saw before. If you fought and killed the dwarf, you see a new one in his place. Oh dear. If you took anything from this chamber, you discover it is magically duplicated. If you come here for third or fourth time, turn to a different page. Interesting. Okay, I feel like my choices here, I don't want to touch the dwarf's, I haven't spoken to him, I haven't investigated that sort of stuff, so I don't want anything to do with that. So I'm not going to do anything with the dwarf's key, the dwarf's hammer, anything with the forge itself, the anvil, no. Bellows or the path. Well, the path, I'm presumably I'm going to have to lead that way. I feel like I kind of just want to investigate. The hedgehog is staring at me. I might as well stare at it back. So that's 12E. So let's go do that. You bend down in front of the hedgehog. Hedgehogs don't normally respond to affection, so you just rub his nose a little bit. Thank you, says the creature. Now you can do something else for me. What's that? You reply, surprised and rather put off by the animal's abrupt manner. Oh. Give me one of your magical gems. I'm sure you've got some. Why should I do that? Because I can help you if you do. How? Give me the gem and I'll show you, the funny creature says. If you have a gem and are willing to give it to the hedgehog, turn to 54F. If you don't give the hedgehog a gem, turn to 47F. I don't have a gem. Oh, that's rubbish. Okay. Feel that hedgehog might not be long for this world, so let's go to 47F. I'm sorry, you say to the curious hedgehog, but I don't have a gem I can spare. Humph, he says, and marches straight up to your ankle and bites into it. Oh. Before you can exclaim at the pain of his sharp little teeth piercing your skin, you find yourself magically transported to 36. What? Didn't need to be bitten on the ankle. Oh, wow. Okay, so we've got a picture for this one. It looks like we've come to like Fun Guy Alley or something. Like there's so many different mushrooms. Are we small? I think we might be small because I can see there's like a giant helmet in the background. There's like a stream and a fountain, which looks like there's a potion there with lots of goblets around it. And there's a fairy stood on a toadstool. So I think we might have shrunk. Fountains and mushrooms and waterfalls and bottles. What a strange assortment of things, you think. Almost like an alfresco general store. I don't know why I'd think that, but okay. Then you notice the storekeeper seated amongst her goods, a lovely winged sprite, looking very eager to talk to you. She certainly doesn't look dangerous, so you have no inclination to attack her. But maybe you should just ignore her. Why? She wants to talk to me. I'm very keen for people to talk to me. Sometimes these winged folk can be awfully troublesome. No. If you want to ignore her, turn to 86E, but if you think you'd better talk with her, turn to 88A. We're absolutely going to talk to the fairies shopkeeper. Considering that everyone I've spoken to so far is male-coded, of course I want to talk to a female shopkeeper. She's got her own business. This is quite a place you have here, you say amicably. Thank you, replies the sprite. I work hard to keep it up. People come from all over to purchase the water from my fountain. On the word my, she winks a limpid brown eye as if you'd be very welcome there too. Is it magical water, you ask? Of course. I wouldn't bother with any other kind. What is the water good for? Why, for keeping away bad magic, of course. All you have to do is drink some, and none of those wicked old wizards or witches can harm you with their magic. She lifts up a cup towards you. Try some. You won't regret it. I better not, thank you. I understand that drinking anything here might be, bad for me. Oh, the sprite gets a hurt expression on her face. Not my water, she exclaims. My water is perfectly safe. I bet you've heard that from some of my competitors spreading nasty rumours about my water. She stamps her pretty little foot. A potion of magic resistance sounds as if it could be useful. Maybe you should try some. If you want to, turn to 27L. If you don't, turn to 28. Well, look, in for a penny, in for a pound. Of course I'm going to try the mysterious water. Maybe it's going to be like hard water or something like that. A potion of magical resistance sounds good, as long as it doesn't do anything bad to me. I do have my thing that can, like, stop something hurting me, so if it was witches or wizards, I can use my sphere. But where's the fun in that? All right, 27L, I think it is, although it looks like an I. You accept the cup the sprite offers you and take a cautious sip. It tastes delicious and cool, so you take another, deeper sip. Turn to 52E. Oh, don't know. Oh, no. You don't know how or why, but you gradually come to yourself lying in the dew grass. You quickly sit up, marvelling at having fallen asleep in the Faerie Mound. And then you see it. You're not inside the Faerie Mound, you're outside, and all the items you won with such trouble have disappeared. Oh, no! Oh, well, I only won, like a potion and stuff. Oh. If your quest is still important to you, you're going to have to re-enter the mound at 8 and start your adventure all over again as if you've never been inside the mountain before. Unbelievable! Oh, that's so frustrating. Well, we'll have to go back in, but at least this time is the second time we've been in, so we're going to change what we're doing, I think. So yeah, we're back in the main room. If you've been here on this adventure before, one time go to 108A. So we've got to go there now. In dismay, you recognise this bustling hall. It's the king's drinking hall where you first entered the Faerie Mound. How did you get back here? I can tell you how we got back here. Drank some terrible bloody water. The elf and dwarf have gone about their business. The dwarf is seated with his head resting on a table and the leg of what looks like roasted peacock dangling from his hand. The elf is trying to polish the blade of a small dagger whilst a tiny winged creature dances about his ears, tickling him. The king is where you left him, nodding off on the giant throne. Well, don't just stand there, mortal, comes the voice of the king, even though you haven't seen him stir. Come and give me my lamp. I'm very sorry, sir, you say with a slight bow, but I don't yet have the lamp from the queen. In fact, I'm not even sure how I happened to come back here. Well, do you know where at least you have been? Of course, I think so, your majesty, you reply. Oh no. If you have both a magic potion and a magic ring, turn to 12C. If you only have a ring, turn to 27D. If you only have a potion, turn to 10H. If you don't have either, turn to 31C. Oh, well, that's unfair. I don't have any items yet. Oh, that's really frustrating. Okay, 31C. Oh, stupid water. Well, lad, I must say I'm very disappointed in you. I thought you had made a better stuff than that. You not get my help on your quest if you can't do anything better than that. Now give it another try. And before you know it, you find yourself transported to 60. Well, what if I was going to grab something from this bloody room? Oh. Well, this is terrifying. Where are we now? What is this picture? Oh, is that a nightmare horse? Oh no, I can see a horse is full of flames, dancing over what looks like a bell jar holding something inside. Yeah, it's very hot flames. Oh, but there's the horseshoe prints in the path, so maybe similar to the previous place. You don't have even a second to gather your wits about you before a huge black horse with flaming hooves threatens to stamp you into the ground. The heat from the nightmare's hooves, I see, a nightmare, and from 2 nearby fire pits stings your nose and eyes, stifling your senses. The harsh screaming of the evil horse from another plane of existence pierces your ears. If you have a magical item that will control the nightmare, 83M. If you don't, turn to 42K. Well, I mean, I don't have a item like... I do have, like, my... I could play it, right? I can play my panpipes. I might try that. If not, we might have to rejig this a little bit, but we'll do that. And then when I'm free to explore, I can do fire pits, bell jars with flowers, chariot, and road. Yeah, I'm hoping that it's the panpipes. We'll find out. I'm sure it would say if it was the panpipes. But let's go with this. 83M. You pull out your magical item and use it on the nightmare. Instantly, magically, the fairy creature calms down, slowing his prancing and ceasing his echoing screams. In a minute, a quiet, beautiful black horse stands before you. You pat his nose calmingly. If you want to look around, go back to 16 and decide what to do next. If you just want to move on, you use the power of the magical nightmare and it carries you off. During the trip, you discover a 3-point potion of life healing and you pack it away. Return to 8. Right, so, okay. I mean, you pull out your magical item and use it on the nightmare. Well, I use my panpipes. I mean, sure, that feels a bit like... Yeah, I don't necessarily feel that's the best way of doing this, but okay. But yeah, I want to explore it. I don't want to... I mean, I could go back, but it seems like I don't have much else to go on. But I've got a way to get back, and there's a way to get a 3-point potion of life point healing. And when I'm only on 38, that's pretty good. All right, let's go back to 60. All right, so we've got the fire pits, the bell jar with flowers, and the chariot and the road. Well, I think we're going to look at the bell jar, because that looks quite fun. Let's go 10D. That's where we need to go. Oh, what does it say here? So if you've been here before in this adventure and slain the nightmare, you discover, much to your horror, that the creature has magically regenerated and your choices are the same as before. Well, we didn't do that. If you took care of the nightmare in some other manner and find yourself here again, you must once more deal with the creature as it comes to attack you. You have the same choices as at the beginning. Okay, so this nightmare's just going to be a constantly recurring thing where I just either kill it or I can do something. I don't like that. All right, bell jar, 10D. The flowers in the glass dome look so completely alien in this setting that you're pretty sure they must have some significance. You pick up the jar and study it. The flowers are elaborately arranged. Perhaps it was the product of a special maidenly skill, a relic of long ago. But then you wonder if anything in this place really is what it seems. If you want to open the dome, turn to 19H. If you don't, turn to 60 and decide what to do next. I mean, we're going to open the dome. This is probably the worst decision I've ever made. And I've made some bad ones, like getting bitten by a hedgehog and then also drinking unknown water. But let's open... Why do we open a bell jar of flowers that are clearly not from this biodiversity sphere, and we're just going to cause a lot of problems? I mean, that sounds fun, doesn't it? I wonder if it's like come from wherever the nightmares come from. Why is it in this Faerie Mound place? Are the flowers also from there? Oh dear. You turn your head away as you lift the glass dome, just in case it contains a poisonous gas. But the only scent that reaches your nose is the wonderful fresh fragrance of spring flowers. But the flowers aren't fresh. In fact, they may have never been real flowers. On looking at them closely, you realise that they're sculpted out of some kind of waxy substance. You already felt the flowers and smelt them. Perhaps you should taste them. Why would I do that? That sounds like a silly thing to do. If you want to do that, turn to 82E. If you decide you better not, replace the flowers and the glass dome and choose what to do with them next. Well, I mean, I'm going to have to eat them. I mean, I don't know. That's a lie. I don't have to eat them, but I'm going to eat them because you've kind of put it in my head now. You've already felt them and smelt them. Why? Perhaps you should taste them. Oh, gosh. All right, let's go eat these flowers before returning to 60. 82E. You nibble on the edge of one waxen petal. A wonderful, warm flavour reminiscent of your mother's special tea. I see, her specialty, floods your being. You take another big bite and you find that you've had 3 life points restored. Amazing. Oh, we're back up to full. Eating more petals will not restore any more points. Turn to 60. All right, well, you know what? Turns out you should eat random flowers that you find on the ground. Absolutely. What a great life lesson we've learnt, everyone. Okay, so that's the bell jar with flowers. We now have fire pits, chariot, and road. Let's go look at the chariot. I feel there may be something in there, so that's 9M we need to go to. The chariot is a magnificently constructed vehicle of fine, strong wood, with hand-wrought decorations covering its surface. The shaft bears tooled leather traces, and mounted on the peak of the front is a huge gem that shimmers with magic as you reach out to touch it. If you decide to take the gem, turn to 134E. If you try to hitch the chariot to the nightmare, turn to 124D. Even if the nightmare is dead, you have heard that sometimes the magic of special chariots can restore their assigned mounts back to life. Well, it might just be worth a try. Turn to 124D. So even if you've killed it, you can still go to get that. So we do need that magic gem to talk to the hedgehog without it biting us. I don't particularly want to hitch the nightmare too. I'm not a big fan of that, so I think I'm just gonna take the gem. I mean, I've eaten a flower. What's the worst that could happen? Ooh. With the point of your weapon, you dig the gem out of its mounting on the peak of the chariot. It lies in your hand, the magical shimmer gone. If you try to use it as a magical gem, it will not work. All you held is a lump of rock. If you want to hitch the chariot to the nightmare, 124D. Otherwise, return to 60. Okay, well, I mean, this is the problem. I've got a gem. Did it need a magic gem? The thing? I don't think it did need. It just needed a gem. I can give that. That's fine. Let's go back to 60 because I don't want to hitch the nightmare to gem. I wonder if that gem helped control the nightmare. Now that I think about it. All right, I've got the choice of the fire pits or the road next. I feel like the fire pits. We might as well look at the fire pits. We just won't go too close. We'll just go on the road then, and it'll be fine. So let's go to the fire pits. That's 11E. Oh, no. As you study the 2 flaming fire pits, you suddenly realise that some of the flame in the right-hand pit is breaking away. It's a fire elemental. Oh, no. You leap back, preparing to fight, but then you hear the crackling sound of flames changing into recognisable sounds, into words, in fact. I can be your guide out of this chamber, are the words you think you hear through the crackling noises. If you think what you're hearing is your imagination and you want to fight the creature immediately, turn to 149B. If you're retreating from the nightmare and have to take any chance you can, or if you feel you better try to hear more, turn to 90D. I mean, I don't want to fight it. I'd rather not. Let's do 90B. Let's do that. Listen to me, crackles the fire. I'm listening, you say, puzzled. Just drop inside this fire pit and you will get out of here. Your head spins with contradictory emotions. Relief at finding a way out of this confusing nightmare, and horror at the idea of actually stepping into a burning fire pit. You also wonder if you can believe what the fire elemental says. If you have the key of fire resistance, turn to 156E. If you don't, turn to 27E. Well, I assume the key of fire resistance is going to be with that dwarf. So, damn it. All right, fine, it's all good. Let's go to, well, we don't have it, so 27E. You have no special protection against fire, but perhaps there's some simple way through that the fire won't burn you, at least too badly. If you want to try it, turn to 121A. If you don't, tell the fire elemental, thanks anyway, and continue exploring the room. Well, we're absolutely not going to use the fire. No, that's fine. Let's do 60 and we'll go on the path. I have no intention of going through the fire. Right, with all that done, I've got my gem. I'm going to hit the road. That's 68C. If the nightmare is alive, turn to 47G. If not, turn to 86F. Well, the nightmare is alive, but I've calmed it down. It's totally fine. 47G, okay? Yes, technically I can move on and use the nightmare to... You use the power. I want to go down the path, though. I don't mind. I'll go down the path. I'll do the path. So we're just ignoring the fact I'm going down the path, and I'm going to ignore the fact that this horse could take me back to 8. We don't want to go back to 8 again, because I don't want to be thrown somewhere else. So bravely you wait until the nightmare has risen on its hind legs, trying to crash down on top of you. You then dash nimbly underneath its threatening hooves and towards the tunnel opening. You leap over the shafts of the chariot, which I've got my gem from, and out into the sun. But there is no sun. There's just an invisible force of some kind that does 1 point of damage and sends you bouncing to the floor. Oh, god damn it. All right. Now you must fight the nightmare, and it's a battle that you know is to the death. Oh, man. Turn to 54G. If you win the struggle, you'll be able to check out the rest of the chamber and hope to find a way out. Oh, that's so annoying. I've already dealt with this. All right, well, let's go to combat. It's fine. We'll work it out. So 54G. Quickly grab what weapons you can and hope you've got something that will be useful against this strange creature. Conduct combat. If you win, go to 102F. If you lose, go to 56G. All right, let's check out where this... I can calm it down. So I can use my weapon. I'm going to use my panpipes again. So how many points has the nightmare got? 9 and below it will hit, and does 5 points of damage. It's only got 13 hit points though. So okay, now I get to go first. So let's see. Okay, my sword is 7 or less and inflicts 5. No, I'm not having this. I'm gonna roll. Okay. Alright, well first of all, I'm gonna try my panpipes. I'm gonna like doodly diddly dee and blow on my panpipe. So let's do that. So rolling a d12, and hopefully we get a 6 or less. Aha, we got a 5. Screw that. I'm not fighting the source. I'm just going diddly 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 dee, like playing my panpipes. Cynthia comes to my lips, and we've sorted. We've won. Phew, great. I mean, it's a 50-50 chance of it working, so I think that's good. Alright, so we won the battle, so we go to 102F. I think we've been there before, though. Kind of feel bad that we're killing it. Well, it doesn't die, because I've used my blowing thing. We've won. The evil nightmare lies before you dead. No, I've calmed it down. It's fine. It's gone to sleep. It's fine. The flames on his hooves are gradually dying away. The heat in his chamber stings your nose, and you realise that you'll still need to deal with this place. Turn back to 60 to decide what to do next. I have decided. I was going to... Oh, God, I've made a blooming mess of this. So can I not get out of his chamber, then? If I go to the road, I don't think I can, right? Well, no, I guess it's dead now, so I guess I can. Hang on. Right, well, the nightmare's no longer alive. I've killed the nightmare, so I can go to 86F, but I feel that's unfair. I calmed down the... Oh, it's asleep. It's gone sleepy buys. It's fine. 86F. You leap over the shafts of the chariot and out into the sun, but there is no sun, just an invisible force of some kind. Of this 1 point of damage that sends you bouncing to the floor. Oh, are you kidding me? Oh, I'm back to where I started. Okay, well, it looks like I have to go through that friggin' fire stuff. After all, I don't want to do that, though. This is like the worst point-and-click adventure, where you're just like bashing up against the wall. Oh, okay. Okay, I just jumped ahead. We're back at the fire pit stuff. I don't have any special protection against fire, but perhaps there's a simple way through the fire that won't burn you, at least too badly. If you want to try it, I don't. Go to 121A. I mean, I've explored every other option, so it's going to have to be this. So let's go to 121A and hope I don't die in a fire. So you know that fire pits are usually not very deep, just deep enough to keep a fire from spreading about a room. Perhaps you can get through the fire quickly. Oh, if you have a potion, any one to spare, you can pour it on your legs to stave off the fire. I technically do. I have my potion from when I started. You thrust one leg into the fire. It's only up to your knees when your feet touch solid bottom. Suddenly, you realise that the flame is backing away from your leg. The pit seems to be opening up, but will it open in time to keep you from being seriously burnt? Generate a number between 1 and 12. If you have no potion to pour over your legs, you need to roll a 10 or more. If your legs were protected by a potion, you need 7 or more. If the roll was successful, turn to 84D. If it wasn't, 78F I need to turn to. Alright, well, I'm going to use the potion that Oh, man. This potion of healing, it seems such a waste to do it, but it heals 6 life points. I'm going to have to use it for this. So, yeah, I've used that potion now, my potion of healing. Oh, God. What a waste. All right, so now I need to roll a 7 or more. Oh, it's the other way round. Before it had to be under, didn't it? I mean, I've not come to combat yet, but I had to roll something and under, whereas this is now over. This feels a little bit unfair. All right, let's roll. So I'm going to roll a 7 or more. Oh, an 11. Whew. Okay, there was a moment there. I didn't think I was going to make it. Okay, 84D. Let's go. An instant before you're forced to leap out of the flame, a hole opens in the pit, revealing a staircase leading down beneath the fire pit. As you quickly descend, the floor of the pit slides closed above your head. You release your breath in a big sigh. You never dreamed you'd have to walk through the fire on this quest. Turn to 8? Are you kidding me? Why are we going... I didn't want to go back to 8. That's back to the beginning. Oh, my goodness. This is the second time I've been here, so now I've got to go to 11F. Oh, the king is going to be so cross with me. Oh, no. You almost feel relieved when you recognise the Hall of the Fairy King. For the moment, at least, all you need to concern yourself is with the king's wrath at returning again without his lamp. You're beginning to wonder if you'll ever get his help on your quest. The fairies in the hall jeer at you as you walk towards the throne once more. The king is asleep with his head nodding forward. You approach quietly, reluctant to disturb him, but you notice one eye is half open, watching you as you come towards him. So, you're back again. He gives a snort of disgust. You're not much use on the third wing, are you? Without waiting for an answer, which you weren't going to give anyway, he adds, well, let's see what you've got this time. If you've got both a magical potion and a magical ring, turn to 12C. If you only have a ring, turn to 27D. If you only have a potion, turn to 10H. If you don't have either, turn to 31C. I don't have either. I don't have either. I have my ring. That's mine. Wait, if you have both maybe I'm supposed to give it to him. Oh, maybe I'm an idiot. Maybe, because I feel like 31C, we're gonna go back into the same thing as before, perhaps. But we'll see. I'll come back. Hang on, 31C. Maybe I've misread this completely as a result. Yeah, that 31C gets me back to 60. I must have to give him the ring. I've used my potion now. I'm gonna have to give him the ring. If I only have a ring now. Oh, you foolish Fiona. Okay, so you only got the ring 27D. Let's do that then. Well, lad, that's close, but not close enough. You'll have to get a potion too if the queen is ever going to let you into her quarters. Just keep looking. You might want to take a brief look round here first whilst I take some care of some business. Then I'll help you. You may choose to investigate one item or person to talk to in 8 and then may magically transport it to 36. Right, well, we want the potion. That potion we found. So we're going to do that. So go to 8 and get the potion. Floating bottle on the left, 117B. Okay, so yeah, got the potion now. Go back to 8. We're going to go to 36, is what they said, right? 36. I wonder if that's back at the forge. Oh, no, I know what... Oh, we're in the bloody mushroom place again. Oh, I'm ignoring this bloody fairy. No, sod her. I don't... If you've been here before, turn to 28F. I absolutely have been here before. What's she going to try and sell me now? Somehow, you aren't surprised as you look at this chamber over again. Everything has been magically restored, right down to the position of the lovely sprite and with the inviting smile. Turn to 36. So why did I need to... Why do I need to do that? Why do I need to go back there? Oh, that's so cross-making. Okay. I'm not going to talk to her. I'm going to completely ignore her. I feel bad, but I'm going to completely ignore her now. And then I'm going to go to 86E. And then when I'm free to explore the chamber, I can check out all these other things. I'm not going to drink anything because this caused me troubles last time. Fortunately, the sprite's eye hasn't caught you looking at her, yet you feel free to wander around the place. You're near the fountain when you think you hear a soft humph behind you. Then an arrow thuds into your back. What? You fall slowly to the ground, convinced you'll never, ever ignore a sprite again. Turn to 52E. Are you kidding me? I can't bloody win. No! Are you kidding me? You don't know how or why, but you gradually come to yourself lying in dew-covered grass. You quickly sit up, marvelling at falling asleep in the Faerie Mound. And then you see it. You're not inside the Faerie Mound. You're outside. And all the items you've won with such trouble have disappeared. Your quest is still important to you. You're going to have to re-enter the mound at 8 and start your adventure all over again as if you've never been inside the mound. Oh my god. Well, now we know. We're going to go back into the blooming mound now. We've got a ring and we've got the potion from before. I don't care. Everything's as if we've never been inside. So we've got our starting stuff. That's what I'm going to interpret it as. Ah! It's the third time I've been here, so 133A. God, Struth. This time, when you enter the Fairy King's hall, the king himself spots you immediately. You can feel his scorn reach out to you across the room. Well, now look at what we have here. The great adventurer has returned. All he needs to do is get one tiny ring and one little bottle of potion so he can go and see a lady, but he can't even do that. He keeps showing up like a baby who's lost his mother. Everyone in the chamber laughs. You stand there reminding yourself that words can't hurt you unless they're magic, of course. All right, mortal. Let us all see what you have. He examines the items you spread out before him. Some of that is rather nice, he says, grabbing one of your magical items. Cross off any item except the ring or the potion off your list. Oh, he's going to take my blooming... He has to take my sphere. That's fine. If you have both a magical item and a magic ring, turn to 12C. Well, I do. Technically, I do. God. Good lad, exclaims the old Fairy King as you show him what you have. You need to come back here after all. Well, I'll just take care of that. And before you know it, you find yourself been transported to 98. Okay, well, at least we're at a new place with a cool picture. We look like we're in some sort of fairy pond place. There's like a secret garden. There's like a frieze on the wall and a really beautiful gate and some trees and stuff around it. With relief, you discover that there is no one you have to fight immediately in the new chamber you find yourself in. And it is with delight that you realise that the pool must be the one that will lead you to the Fairy Queen. But dismay cancels the delight when you see the water in the pool whirling and plunging down so violently that it could destroy you. The garden-like setting is certainly beautiful. Everywhere you look, flowers bloom abundantly. You hear birds whistling in the colourful trees, and the scent of blossoms is carried everywhere on the gentle breeze. But in the centre of it all, coming from the pool itself, is a mysterious feeling. Not necessarily evil, but something inexorably taking control of you. Oh no. If the talking skull is still following you, turn to 63J. If not, go ahead and decide what you want to explore. Sod it. No. The skull's with me. I've decided. The skull's been with me this whole time because it's been following me ever since. Yeah, it makes sense. Like it would just follow me around. We'll take the skull with us. So let's go to 63J. I want to see what this pool does. Suddenly, a voice from behind you speaks. It's the skull, who has remained silent for some time. You know you can leave. You don't have to have anything to do with the pool, it says. I know, he replies shortly, wondering if the skull is encouraging you to go somewhere else. Maybe it's afraid for itself. Why don't you throw some flowers in the water and see what happens? Suggests the skull. I'll think about it, you reply absently as you turn away from the skull to look around at what else you might need to think about in this lush garden. Turn to 98. Well, that sounds helpful. That sounds absolutely helpful. I'm absolutely not going in this pool. All right, so what have we got? Pool, wall carvings, flowers, gates, hole in the ground path. If you've been here before, nothing has changed, you know what you have to do. I don't. I'm going to take the school suggestion because you know what? This is possibly the most helpful bit. If I don't follow it, I might end up outside the Faerie Mound again, and that's going to be really cross-making. So let's go sort the flowers. 87N. You sit down on the edge of the pool and look at the flowers all around. You idly pick some. You may smell them, toss them into the pool, or just lay them down aside on the ground. Let's toss them into the pool. 105F. Let's do that. Idly, you toss the flowers into the pool and watch them swirl around. Wait, what? Suddenly out of the whirling rises an image of a guilledoo? A strange moss fairy. Is that how you pronounce that? A guilledoo? Guilledoo? Yeah, that's how it's pronounced. A strange moss fairy. It's a Scottish fairy that lives in beech woodland. How interesting. Guilledoo. I like her. She's sitting on a rock in front of a crowded group of birch trees. Turn to the picture on page 155 to see the image and turn back here. In her hand, the guilledoo holds a lamp that you know is the kind of lamp the Fairy King is looking for. Suddenly, the vision fades and the blossoms are gone. Turn to 98. Oh, the guilledoo has the lamp. Okay, so that was kind of helpful. That was almost like quest help helping us there a little bit. Interesting. So we need to go into the forest, perhaps. So what else have we got here? We've got wall carvings, the pool itself, the gate, the hole in the ground, and the path. Let's look at the gate. I think the gate could be quite important. 134H. 134H. You step towards the gate, your hand outstretched to open it, but as you approach, the gate opens of its own accord. As you pass through, however, it shuts behind you with an ominous clang. Oh, darn. You quickly turn back, but all signs of the pool and garden are gone. The garden seems to continue on this side of the gate, however. Turn to 94. Well, okay. This can't go any worse, can it? Ooh, another interesting image of like a tree that's in half with a big spear. Interesting. You've arrived at a place of great contrast. Beautiful flowers and warm scented air are a welcome relief from the dead tree that looks more like a thing of nightmares than sunshine. At first there seems to be no life here other than the flowers, but then you hear a rustle of leaves and a shimmer runs through them. There is no wind, but you see two little creatures, a brown pixie and a furry animal, scurry away. However, the restlessness amongst the leaves continues, so you go to where you see the petals moving, and there you find, looking very much like the petals themselves, a tiny pseudo-dragon. You know that a pseudo-dragon is actually a real dragon. There's nothing pseudo about it, other than the fact that it would rather fade away than fight. You know too, though, it has a fatal stinging barb on the tip of its tail. If you want to try to fight the pseudo-dragon, turn to 132G. No, don't want to do that. If you want to try to communicate with it, turn to 62A. Or you can just pretend you haven't seen it and do whatever you want to do. All right. When you're free to explore this area, you can investigate the tree, the gate, the chest inside the tree, the writing on the rock. Oh, there is writing on the rock. And flowers. I'm all about communications. I do have my panpipes if I need it, so let's go to 62A. Pretending you don't know the pseudo-dragon is there, you casually sit down in the grass amongst the rustling flower petals. Now, you think to yourself, what's the best way to start a conversation with a pseudo-dragon without frightening it? Oh, in your head comes a voice, but not through your ears, and mine is talking directly to you. Then I'll start the conversation, shall I? Oh, thank you for responding, you say. Can you really read my thoughts directly? How convenient. And thank you for not trying to scare me, says the pseudo-dragon. Not many who come this way are so kind. I know of your quest, and you'll need to look into everything you come across. Since you chose not to harm me, let me warn you to stay away from that blasted tree. Oh, you may remove the sphere without any harm. In fact, I'll be glad to have it gone. Just be sure to turn it as you pull it from the tree. You can even look inside the chest and the trunk, but don't. Please don't try to find out anything hidden in its limbs. Thank you for your advice, you say, rising to your feet. I will be gone as soon as I can. You don't just want to leave yet, and you begin searching the area for things that may help you. Turn to 94. Okay, so the dragon says I can remove the spear. That's fine. I can look in the chest, but don't try to find out if anything's hidden in the limbs. Will not do that. Stay away from the blasted tree. Okay, that seems good to me. So we can investigate the tree. There's a gate. Oh, there is a gate. There's another gate here. Chest in the inside the tree, writing on the rock all the flowers. Tell you what, let's do the chest inside the tree. Let's go look at that. I don't want to touch the tree yet. I want to do the chest first, so we'll do that first. So the chest is 87M. Kneeling beside the chest, the smell of old rotten wood fills your nose. You ignore it and lift the hasp on the chest, hoping to find something special. Inside are several different objects of various sizes, shapes and colours, all useful. You find a jar of instant coffee, a potato peeler, a muffler for cold nights, although nights is spelled as with a K rather than nights, as in like sleeping at night, a boot jack in the form of a swan, and a package of parchment. Closing the lid, you decide it's time to leave by the obvious exit out. Turn to 157E. Oh, okay, well, do I get to take these items? I feel like I should be able to take these items, right? I'm going to make a note of them at least. You never know when you might need a muffler. The beautiful iron-wrought gate is held in place by 2 pillars with runes on them. Do you want to open the gate or try to read the runes? We're going to try and read the runes. Let's go to 92M. I want to find out... Yeah, I don't trust anything anymore. It's probably going to ask me to knock twice or something. As you study the pillars, you realise that the runes are different on each one. With a feeling that your decision might be very important, you decide whether to first interpret the runes on the left-hand pillar or on the right-hand pillar. Okay, well, I think we should do the left-hand pillar purely because that reading left to right stuff. But then again, it's fairy, so maybe they're going to ask us to read the other way around. Let's do the left-hand pillar, 63N. We'll go there and find out where we need to go. The moment you come close and begin to examine the runes on the left-hand pillar, the magic symbols start to sing. Choral images float over you of lakes and rivers and streams and seas. Suddenly, you find yourself sitting in the shallow water on the bank of a river. Dry yourself off and turn to 84. All right, great. That's all we have time for this episode of the DM's Book Club. Thank you so much for listening. We'll be back next week with the next part in this rather bizarre solo adventure. As always, keep safe, play more games, and we'll see you on the flip side. Bye!